that the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised in a manner and within the limit laid down in the Constitution. Ivan Akwababiu.
Yeah, my just boss.
Mr. Yansha election promises versus reality. Okay. Promises are air cost you na. Abai betumi ediso. Obetumi aye.
The education I mentioned what here for. Now I'm starting from the note that I will count about media personnel and involvement in politics and then as a forum. Over the years, and I think we've been very hypocritical when it comes to issues of politics and as a forum, because in a democracy there are no neutrals. Either you are a coward taking part of the oppressor, or you are part of those fighting for freedom. So in a democracy there are no neutrals. So we call the United States of America now compare the bigger platforms that you can think of, like CNN, Fox News, and as a for or more allegiance where they towards. For instance, CNN is a liberal platform. Fox Republican platform. And when it comes to young critiquing the issue, irrespective of the fact these news platforms, or more limit to certain political ideology, they are able to stand firm and fair. They critique the issue. So where you stand as a person, I'm not sure say it's an issue. It's just about job and it's a media person be declare and no that clarity to you are able to listen to issues, because we support John Mahama now John Mahama be president the following day. No Shasi Edin Semuna. I'm not sure say you will come here and defend the person. So Obia will every right at any point in time to support whichever government.
The first person I may criticize.
Yes, and that is what makes us human. That is what makes us human, because as a man, your conviction is everything. That is all that we've been saying. Back to political promises. I think so the familiar basin na we are Ghana na you are hoping said the many promises being thrown out there in the name of party politics. Then you look at what has happened, because now Okroma 2016 now you name the way na Nema Efaso na Eko. Then President Akufo-Addo pop out from nowhere and they assured Ghanaians promises upon promises. One district, one factory, one this, 1 million, just a one na the amuke ka bom bebre. Then omo etugu Ghana for so. Fast forward, Ghana for actually monim the 2 million. But these promises here can once a mean none. And then what Nancy we Ghana near. The promises these people made, maybe at see the light of the day. For instance, President Akufo-Addo, the key promises: one, industrialization. Your kind industrialization, and when it comes to all the bigger economies around the world, Germany, America, and then as a thrive when industries pick up, because I know the team creating then as a forum as we speak. Those industries now you can't want them, not even one, because I was looking up for that industrial transformation. I said be able to be a creative numa ama Ghana for any BIA, because countries let me advance around the world in industries nene etimia pope. So we a country like Germany coming up after the Second World War. Adia ba Germany taking upon itself and etimi boma Germany timi gene who free ohiem the industrial driver moko, because after the war or realizes a news was said na sasia said the only way is to go into machinery into now Germany all the big industries no na be na aboama or mine air travel. You go back to China today. China 50 years ago was one of the poorest country, but who say we have the numbers, because numbers are China or America only have. So say manufacture nema, we can leverage our numbers as a competitive advantage economically, never my numbers. And China atimia riser to a point the second largest economy. We say at some point Ghana yet yesu about your dollar CD China etimi take deliberate steps. Now we're devaluing the UN because o devalue and near China ni be kwa kotona bontene a better disincentive. You have to buy Chinese products, and Huawei ne other product or motor phones and so forth, they have that competitive edge. And now one Apple and a battle when it comes to some of these things. And the industrial promises now President Akufo Addo, and those industries now are not there, and he's not bold enough to take any platform and tell Ghana for say every say now and among those promises. Second has to do with issues of corruption. Corruption is one of the cornerstone issue of President Akufo Addo Ghana for 12 man. Oh, people saw him as a no-nonsense man when it comes to corruption. Sabi, obey who baby. But and now you can't corruption or them say pam because Nabayano hasn't been able to do anything when it comes to issues of corruption. I don't know. I see the state machinery, the state might in our side, just use it to commit to investigation. Now you say some level of merit be woman as a merit in.
But okay, they talk about the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor as an institution to deal with cases of corruption as a step, a bold initiative to deal with corrupt issues. So now I
think the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I said it some time ago, was a useless creation. And fast will be because our person fight corruption. You don't need to set up institutions. What you need is the political commitment and the will on the part of the state. Now, because there are agencies already, they have prosecutorial powers, like the AG department. They have the prosecutorial powers, and then even the police to a certain extent, and then there were other agencies are able to go deeper into issues of corruption. And these are binding serious. So, but boy, I'm fighting the issues of corruption. You don't need to set up the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Office of the Special Prosecutor by Metem Bisa said the Abebe Crown Mutime prosecuting is Abebe Edio Maisika, not what for. They hasn't been able to convict anybody. In some nearby, the Special Prosecutor has become some kind of a stamping way because Abra Papa Weba na anwada ono aya wailing so beboa a fight corruption kisi jabe. At some point in time the guy was frustrated. Lumba nyom akwa no maye ne ba ye ho so no try na remes because chase niam oya enye aka no nko somebody oya will say meba president when I was me fight corruption I am ready to do at some point in time because this whole thing was a scam, some kind of we are adding just to the political narrative. Now, I'm fighting corruption, and then Kisejabe is frustrated. Open the back when the media deal with Krumapa Martin Amidu. One president, the Kufado brought him on board. The people thought, oh, Martin, they all had a track record with his own party, NBC. At some point, Rollins, Nelson, Mahama, issues, what the special prosecutor. But not President Kufado thought, say, Obetime pandano to manipulations and influences. But at the end of the day, the guy demonstrated said, no, I'm here to work. At the end of the day, you who near my SC or no Ankasa Babontin, but catch and say, President Kufado, a mother serpent of corruption because all year the obeying just to disrupt and thwart him from doing whatever that he intended to achieve. Yet Yana Sisila the Pai should be see. Yakwada sorry, $1 million it will be them. Now, and there is no civilized democracy anywhere. I'll bet me explain this because a friend of mine told me, say, Oko UK some point in time, Oko police for a conform we are on them, Sisan and Nema, now or £10,000 or baby no mufaka home. Police for Basom by investigation. Anna, or boss, number $10,000 with them, and I'll catch and say, only $10,000 in free in 7 or come, you say, or bope. And now I can say another issue, man, because you can't keep $10,000 under your bed. I wouldn't declare then he took it away from that particular report and sent a child fire or measure this Canada man. But it means $1 million could win them. Besin ne. Ubisaso in your scanner or Hannah, yeah, to an answer story. Some media men were telling us, never find the woo, yeah, and a more years harbor. Now, confirm not your crab back if you know in a year, $1 million. These are silly stuff people were telling us on radio. At the end of the day, special prosecutor here and I just say oil investigation, I mean, what is the outcome be about? That particular issue has been killed. At some point, yeah, the command Yoko for a crime so troll letter commander attorney general can say issues of way onjai because special prosecutor can say money laundering aspect be now more that ingenuity, the resources to be able to pull that investigation. But at the end of the day, they kill the matter. As we speak, Cecilia Dapa is walking free. And the President Akufo-Addo Okachira Manfo said, public person or be ho ban no and the public person I hwehwa hu na campus obi abo ho ban. So that is a failed promise because one key thing na edi enya over the years and amanfo free say betimi aboa aye say yetimi battle corruption and what wa be na light adum amanfo onim de nti a ACC because ECG sa amanfo produce power na omo de ma ECG sa onkoton a bill no wagege 45%. Because that mismanagement and inefficiency in our system, then the American government, Samuel Obama Aircon or the power initiative by under the Compact 2, catch that and say, inject some level of efficiency into your energy sector. By doing so, if a private sector be room, now we will move room, a mema usika, sabaya, sasika na, and Yama enko yeno, nina tubecha. Then, fast forward, these people form the cabal. I for a foreign company in the name of PBS and all fronted that particular deal. Another day, corruption may break in. What is a president in Kukudoso investigating? I didn't see an amount for the American government was supposed to give us $190 million. As a result, the American embassy wrote to us and says they've cancelled that money. Do you know what $190 million can do? Says ECG that from 2022, 10.9 billion. The following year, it was 1.9 billion. Eka and so all the agency and then Netco at the car, Vaco Trust Fund at the car, Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Way at the car, Oko Energy Sector, just a towa and edaho. Then let me bring you back to the economy. And then another Dr. Baumianam or yet promises our Session University Central making promises in Nasifon. I am telling you, sir. Theoretical way na ye cano different from practical wisdom. I would be a Juma Amana manifested in terms of work because Okasa John Mahama was borrowing recklessly. John Mahama Busian or Bonian said him on June Ghana for her and a Ghana 14 and sin on the man. I know she Okochi John Mahama Bisan Sabusian or Bono Binya near Machro by ne Okochi Konoforata. Now catch and Sabusian Bribena Wabono, a dear Lord ya. One way I would have him Babuna Kulu because all unions are there by Kokran Kancho. Because Sikana Moti and Omosheno. Oba and they told said borrowing, governance was all about borrowing. People crossing them. Oba early stage and Okobo Busina 2.8 and other buyer a year Euro bond. And of 40 year. The following year he went back and took 3 billion. The following year 3 billion. The following year 3 billion. So in a space of 4 years, now you Bob Busina over 11 point something billion dollars our commercial space. Into 2023, he made an attempt to go back. And I'm confronted to books. No. Aquawe, Kratana would be better. That is not what the book says. And now, declare Ghana junk. All the credible rating agencies like Moody's, Fitch, and then as for everything a junk. At that point, now there was no way to make a bubble baby. And into a more die when you see Bank of Ghana. Anna Addison, attend Bank of Ghana into a printing press and all the printing Sikano. You buy a Hosuna inflation at 53%. And the economy now, almost promising and say on by a boy economy no ban. And a come many year to the stance that Ghana I declare bankrupt after COVID. Apart from Zambia, Ghana is the second country I declare bankrupt after COVID because numbers management was so widespread. COVID sikana about Kromano, Uti Mitibi, Quaya fast why she sikanu bu ye. And in all this, Remakasa governance is a human enterprise. Nipa beti my mistake. So we confirm with the share Jumama. We need to mention the Nipa buyer because in humans there some of these indiscretions are there. But say Nipa ya Jumana, what can you the over to me ye? Asina no kwan and now bet me aye kire nipa no nyansa sesabi o man ade yam fa ne sa because every human being bia no even so your pope kura are very dangerous. All that they need are incentive and opportunities to thrive. So as a state, you take away the incentive, you take away the opportunities. Many people who say if you go against the state, consequences will be there. But we are talking about the president or being in some nipa no bokro no a na ono a apade no mo nipa no bokro no a na wakele mo furo. So at the end of the day, there is enough motivation for people to steal. There is enough motivation for people to engage in all the excesses. The other side is this impunity with which they operate, this arrogance of power. Instead no air cost Ghana for Ekano, you see certain foolish belligerents. As a nipa no kan sema mintie de me pe na meye ba mamuo no enye ona na bi na awu no de akonwa ma na wote so na me na nanom kokon na omo de ama mintie de ope na obeye. We are talking about a democracy. Nipa na bi tumi ama So you need to respect the people. Sometimes you may be doing right thing, but some explanations, but you need to respect the people. So always, the relationship that might exist between power and the people must be that of mutual respect and intellectual kinship. Nothing else. There is no pity, nothing. But in our case, it's a different ball game altogether. And they are taking us for granted. So I think that the promises being made. And then as a phone, now me President Akufo-Addo from first day, you could see clearly say promises now make you, and there was no way obetimi akwa do so. Abeiku, yet yes, obi per president there. Adia wadwen ho. So when you get opportunity in your maiden edition to address your people, when you look into their faces, in some of the first day president addressing the maiden edition. America president therefore speeches no can boom and obejina ho and all kind go. Now such a man can even trust him when it comes to say the vision in the dreams and so forth. So at that particular point, he told Ghanaians says and woman now there is no way between yet. It was just a narrative president. And unfortunately, we found ourselves in the media space. Most of our media people are very hypocritical. Very, very, very hypocritical. Because you see, me growing up, I became so confused about issues or any reality about politics. Because, NDC nete MPP nete and a host to nete we see a no cre, we see a no cre. Host to know, instead of him to clear the issues so that the listener will get precisely what the issues are. No, maybe they will text messages. So I know the average listener. Maybe they say, I
see radio host, the TV host. Instead, some interrogating issues are politicians.
Yes.
Text messages and I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm okay. So I see you, Mamenko. I am message. So many times. Okay, so what about promises and reality? Ma yambra okay, abuse of power, abuse of incumbency, and the keka ho. Survey bebre akoso. Ubi so man for GDA mo electoral commission mo. In the history of Fourth Republic, the current electoral commission, the trust the people have for them, above from unprecedented. And we are back. The judiciary, the trust and control no more edema your court, your judges, and also above from.
I think that this whole enterprise is being run like a Ponzi scheme. It's not a democracy. Say we have imposters who are fronting democratic rule and they just make it look like democracy, but in reality there is no democracy because all state Obama ba catch and say Africa you making sure about build strong institutions and you kwa nice abana making convictions and your friends and strong values and principles to stand and the interface institution all state institutions they will compromising. For instance, let's talk about the judiciary. And say Supreme Court the ruling Bible until now court social media and then unanimous 11 na you say where's a man for you know it's so derogatory but why you have to promote so be a judiciary that but say appointment for instance in recent time look at the number of appointment President Akufo-Addo akogu the Supreme Court Ghana conventionally you come enter 14 but and then you turn 14 as I make as a parliament or more to approve them. And so over the background of some of the individuals, they are very problematic. For instance, we have a fair parliamentary candidate, whole central, you're promoting a Supreme Court bench. So now we are by a very contentious political issue. Now Chief Justice under the power and the infantry to appoint that person to go and sit on that particular panel. Sorry, raising it on the panel, no, or say this is a constitutional matter. Constitutional matter, and cocoa at the court, and I'm punching at the court. And your political actors, they bear political interest. So you cannot disaggregate the two. And you need to show the people respect. Looking at the nature of this particular issue, Nipa will know because the gentleman raised it on the bench or said that no raise it here just to take away credibility from the judiciary. But over the years, sign your money, you stop here. And when it happens, they think, oh, yeah, my lord, respect the amount for the bound. By respect, we earn. You cannot cow people into submission, and as I want to intimidate people to respect you. You need to earn it. You understand? So those times, and I don't make us say, even Pontius Pilate that their channel buy na your generation will be a kind of Mamimbusa Wadre
citizen vigilante.
Yes.
Under this government, yenim cases are vigilante for a court in Kumasi, a court free a suspect who was standing trial.
Yeah.
Intimidate judge.
Yeah.
My judge Jane. At the end of the day, they were fined.
Yes.
They were fined though. And this is a criminal offense.
Yeah.
But they were fined.
Yeah.
And UTV was UTV for a United Showbiz. They were attacked.
Yes.
By party tax.
Yes.
Also, they were fined. It is judiciary, say credibility and I respect and conform on a and
yes.
And conform with some and you miss sending almost for the assembly.
Yes.
And no microphone.
Yes, because you see, it is a impunity, it is a flower. Yabia, Debia, and you started now. I'm far be so and stop it. Now you allow it to fester and grow a ginsemu. And that is the point we've gotten to. And so Ghana new was concerned about the neutrality and the independence of the judiciary, or every reason, because there are several polls recently, Afrobarometer for the report Babonte, gauging the level of trust man for the judiciary. What kind of report now you're Ghana near? We so because my muhayati, we can lose the executive, we can lose parliament, but one avenue young to mean lusu has to do with the judiciary. Public trust in the judiciary must be absolute and unwavering. But to extend say nipanya sema or prefer so friend to enya than to go to court, because they don't trust the court, and that should be a major concern. You understand? Until we chief justice, you need to see say all these sentiments being expressed by people on social media and other form. I know they are very, very important, because justice delivery, it's not just about sitting in the court wearing that particular horse wig and reading judgment. It is about getting people to have trust and confidence in what you are delivering, because the whole essence of justice is to hold society together. And the disintegrated society. Suspicious and running away from not a bit creative for that chaos. I know that they know better now. So I think say politics, and I eat deep into the fabrics of our judiciary. And I'm a public judiciary baby, because me growing up, I have never seen judiciary ruling a babontia as a man for to social media, and another platforms are diverse. So I think they need to do a lot. Say met me. I will deal with the image, because image in India, you may sit in the courtroom and think everything is okay, but trust me,
all right,
the public, it's not.
All right, youth activist and social commentator. Pacho, your last name, is it a surname and a nickname? Mr. Ivan Innocent.
Yeah, that is the name.
Innocent,
Yes.
I will send him more. Oh, do you know who I'm saying? Ivan Innocent. Now we Trebiama media for hosti MPP ni NDC. Now say panelists in a country. Mubakano crutches basa we ubwa. Yanya mfatu ho. DSC we any say media impact in country the American say jina ho mame nko ti wemra na me nko kai messages eti media no so no yakaho e no man no ababedu sampempe so, because yentumi hwe no kura ni nka yentumi hwe no kura ni nka media no slow, because ye bedi watem media no slow say nipa 1000 bedi watem na so wo kasa ma millions eti why na wo so man Ghana ana wo so yefunu odi ase eti media no so or the subwa boy na no kure se media no yentumi hwe amanyofo nanim enka just asebu awoke eyentro 2016 who can say 2024 who can say yentumi hwe amanyofo nanim ka say 2020 who can say ubeye we aden na wanye na dia wanye no who can say me pabocho ebia say ni senti na mentumi anye na yakenka in text messages wabrukwa yenim say asamu amanyebi ni eka no waboa everything for try me to be anim na media na ye the fourth state grab na I say boss society no ban no media na yada afa waka judiciary confidence amanfo enya wo judiciary mu ani ti na sese nkrofo bodua krofo pe eduro to ni bia more than obekokọ because duabo no ye fast afei waka promises factories in a way constituency mo factories in a way 1 million sika na way ena nyankopon dan no so akosi say nyankopon asori dan akosi say
I think it's one of the most disgusting issue metia na sabi ebufu ya homte because so we have we say advance here drew and because of globalization we are not living in isolation obiti Ghana the level of exposure in terms of education you are competing with another person either in China or US for a job because there are a lot of people are multi Ghana in the US online and as a forum. So while countries are making advances are more promote or more education to a certain level, no, you might want to see Ghana say yeah the same thing. But the we are see do na on mind that sorry say yeah the sika kosi cathedral. Now besides a president about say yes cathedral na nyankopon de body becha yen. Na a civil war ba wa prevent yen. Okọ ya moso krum. Omusi cathedral yen ne Kodi omoto abana eji wom no bi adwane firi ho eba kroma so cathedral enji nipa baby a wiase aduru no you invest in your people ade we start here ya ka kira ban se sabi enye nyansasam se baby a nkora enu baby te ukọ secondary schools na ko ese de na nkora abobo ape so na sika kakra yanya na yedi kosi cathedral na we need to reinvest and divert that money to other ventures asabi ebetimi aboa improve amount for life. But nipa antie na omo ho ya bufu in this particular regard eya asofo na mu di sa ade we achi nipa kan nyansasem nyina kire omo a they were the very people who are inciting yebo president abaso say onkosoro nsi cathedral na Ghana nyankopon man so the question that we nyansani obebisa ho ne say so man no tam ni sika no de kosi cathedral ade achi na nkramofo sori so omo nso omo pe bi ade ansem na abeka na se kwaku bu nsam ni team so sori so omo so omo pe abosomdan a you cannot tell them something to me see because Ghana is a secular state so sa anema we nyina nipa anwene ho afa ye ko wuram animguase ne sha ase se eba no asofo no we na betwe krata ase ma resign even the courage to approach Ghanaians and say hey we are sorry mumu bi kan yantie they couldn't gather that particular courage and abaye ka enesio and anu nyadaje e kan shraj report ababonten na me say o kan report na wa bamba bu as a Ghanaian say aya ade aye si nyankopan soro dan the whole contract was fraudulent because shraj say contract na ya award the entire contract over 300 and something million no aya fraudulent it should be cancelled parliament and yawe kwan ya fa so ya ma contract PPA approval yenya tese some individuals trans no modwene so ye na yesi ana wo kwan ya fa so idea nsa ko bo man sikam na ya ko draw $25 million ya buy a seed money na kanifo ya ta ko no ko 25 million Ghana cedis e seed money we kwa no ko 32 million Ghana cedis na ya say the kutua contractors na se foka about papers at some point na ye sika almost by $58 million eko na wo tena na bisa say there na $58 million ebetimi aya ebetimi asesa Ghana for bebre hyebre ba sa sika no cathedral no kwa yantumi ansi e na akwaya amana eda ho so me de meka no say the shrine report na sia ka say yenya investigating na if possible asofo no mo kan mo yebo yem prosecute o mo nyina I think say time aso say ye be kire nipa nyansa wo kroma say ye fro say kodi ade anim na say wunim dia menye say me na me ye sofo na me ye say nkodi anim because enim asofo a o mo kwaje bank kodi anim ade no de bank no gugu ye when omunim say omunim bank hunim dia ba omukogigi gu no sa cathedral issue ya bai e wo say ye kire mo hu say oman sika ye nkosi oman sika me pachawo ko no serious ye fancy democratic dispensation and I nkosi oman sika as ma pachawo ma resign me
now talking about banks egugu here Dr. Paco Sindum eko court say kwan aban faso agene bank GN bank no in kwan and fa kwan mo no huso I think so. We're winning judgment to Krampo.
Yes.
And but still, the Yemfa, the bank, man. cleaning of the banking sector, it's one major issue at the unemployment because your car banks about 9 or 10 banks.
Yes.
And your car bank because you're a consolidated bank. So we believe say what banks 9, 10 ebomwa sa bank na ho de be so asene eco bank ni other banks na aka no minim bank na ho de e de na be ka efa sa banking cleaning the banking sector.
I think it's very pathetic, and who's what's in radio so say that we see na wo church and say mo a na emotions are feeling the padodo na adwen politics no dodo na mfanyansa anya politics or the emotions and so issues no betena se tie mu ye na no aye very judgmental no normally no emotional kind of way trigger and you know or katia me party obi any more time obi when it comes to issues like this. So we have banking sector clean up now. There is no banking sector where awiasia omuni your friends say liquidity problems. A bank bia oko back to America 2008. Abra Obama ebano. There was a recession in America. All the major corporation banks now were folding up. What he did he say or set aside huge sums of money, a capital. Then he gave it to banks now more reputation than other firms like JP Morgan Chase Bank and other reputable firms that take this money. Go and buy all distressed assets. Now, we make sure say mobile revive no amana ye because I'm Ghana for na year adwuma with these corporations. They took the money, bought several of the distressed assets and revived them so that people will not lose their job. That was the same thing we were expecting. Some of us were on radio telling governments, okay, if there are challenges, let us go the American way. Let us find money and buy these assets. And as you have a regulation mechanism, I bet him they buy it. But Enam said the motivation was abroad by and the political opponents. Yen said Najuma, that was the motive. And a banker here 9 billion for recapitalization. You're spending a whooping 21 billion. So as you cannot cry, no, be about more different figures. And you do good bank. Obi a bank manager now to quite to prako. You can imagine the psychological trauma such a person is going through and the level of unemployment they create here. Sankaya science say you know nanka banking sector na aye robust and that's another thing. And ADB ukwa adan the siwo and bank BM agu ukwa your National Investment Bank the same thing your adan the siwo agu hwini. And sa CBG and no be and now a dollar account will go there and tell them say they should give you your dollar. These banks are still sinking. So I know the question is who took that decision? 2020 year 2022 America about 4 banks in the year, Signature Bank, Republican Bank and one other bank. But as essentially distress, then they signal your friends the Treasury Department. Then they find money for amount for most can 10 times now. Then they bought this asset. Because one thing about some of these corporations is Papa Kwasindium, Ebia Juma, and then the man a Juma, and Ghana for take your friends say unemployment burden or minus or you be free and so and you need to help them do a point by being say Papa Kwasindium the nisika no din semuna. There is no private bank. Me from where I stand, there is nothing like private bank because government that power to ensure that the financial security of the citizens is protected. And this will be a bank. The very moment I will open door to the public, and public and private public, because the state has a vested interest in somebody buying the in for home buying. And this is a papa syndrome. What you do, pick him up. You can either prosecute him or do whatever that you want to do with him. But unfortunately, and I'm saying, young guru yanseno. Now the energy with which omoye nintino yan transia nwene sansema make nyina no an say yengu sa I know the good banks solution be na dey abaye the unemployment still ravaging. So I think say politics ye ba abaye mu nya tumi na sabi emotions na ye gigi amanfo koye we na ya na edoso ye ntenase. Then we should also appoint right people into right positions because unfortunately the kind of politics I no kroma no enya meritorious. We don't appoint people based on their level of expertise, knowledge, or whatever. It is based on when a constituency no come in, when the financing and so forth. So I know the day you have a lot of head the position within the day, and I think that is a serious problem. I say fix it because there are some people when your appointment are the and I know the day on mine go so sinkiana yesinke because on my promises say we have the men. Near the boarding, I can see professors and doctors and so forth. On mine in a way. The
last one, Abayin Shishaya or yeah for domestic debt exchange program. Man for citizens are investing in bonds. And on a day a year haircutting a buyer and who pensioners normal copycat our Ministry of Finance. And then this asked me by.
I think it's a reckless borrowing. I make one seven. Abeiku, you know, say bond the most secured investment anywhere in the world because so what top stocker and as we invest here. Overnight, you can lose all your money. Overnight, everything you top in the way. But when you buy bond, and you're so secure because you coupon rate and what maturation date now okay. So it is the secured investment you can do anywhere. But unfortunately, I'm bossing a bonnie and a boy, your Kenyans or some nipanti, you know. This is what has happened. Ghana are declared bankrupt, which means your foreign external creditors are your mocha. Young to win to your mocha, you the China car over 1.7 billion, you the Paris Club car 1.9 billion. Oko the Eurobond marketer, you the car 13 billion, and the multinationals are your mocha, can you know, your debt a wabonteno, and the revenue no, say your cousin you to Yakana or mine babo. Until we've gone there to declare to them such a kana ya demono ya bon kwasi abosia in the past ama sikana amemene ya enti yentumi ntua ya ka yesremo montwe nkwa animu mayen, and that is exactly what has happened. Abanye sa na manu wi ene say omode your external debt no nkwa forgive you na there is no way we can survive. So for the first time in the history of this country no ya bakrom ha ama Ghana for domestically omodo musika bo aban bosia in the form of pensioners, in the form of a motor bond, in the form of more omoto treasure bill na se for no sa sika no ene President Akufo no offer second for rata I restructured that particular debt. He said no yeah twa kwa ni maturation you know na say eduru ha edu sika amount. Most of the people who hear this investment obi o 60 years obi o 70 years obi o 80 years me hospital na metimi ya aduma. I know how these people are vulnerable when it comes to some of these things or medication. Anti-diabetic medication, hypertension, those drugs, you know. At that age, there is nothing like postpone. These people did this investment to buy themselves this medication and to be already 80 years. Now, we catch as on Chinisika anymore. A death sentence now pass a man. Why? Because a certain government decided to live a very reckless and dangerous life. Abraham Obabosiano, Nyansa Sembe na young country nobody listened to anybody. And on my bankruptcy na yademuno, and in the Samra Sanema way in a Oko Jubilee House, Sika Yaswako Hokoko di in a year. No, what's your yembeso? Sika Yaswako Jubilee House. You can take the budget and read the amount of money you push the Jubilee. But President, a whole year on tighten the belt, then California will come back and tell you, say, Mon tighten the belt. When James as a president, you know, belt holes na campus were tight. And I think that is how unserious these people are. And you see, Adeba Kwema, the eco swing has to do with the family friend Kabbalah. Yes, I attach it.
But remember, next issue. One of the issues are abai edibo kane abai mahama bai sobo energy crisis.
Okay.
And uti run apwa anytime bia obenya mahama asembia no ose ona didum so ebaye and nanado crown so president his excellency ekase dum so mahama ene de bae ono ene be survey asem no krobe no.
I think say metena haka say mahama pension dum so ni ho I'll be a hypocrite. Ye nyina na Ghana we saw what happened. But the reality and the records and the fact on the ground no so just say by the time ana mahama a free office na Ghana your generation capacity rises to 563,000. No, your friends say 5,631 megawatts and another war. Peak day, they here at 3,700. So now there was excess. Because that time that various agreement buy the breaker power and another time kumase and for. So at that particular period, and I'm saying abandon lusu yentino, that information in as for no didn't come to light. But the reality is all the power mix now, generation mix now, buy from the independent power producers and the other way, he brought those things. And then the energy sector, he came up with this ESLA at the energy sector levy where the idea was just to form a consortium of banks and who create fund now. Not what the bank no you back on oil leader. Said Sikana Betoma take this money and sort yourself out because your generation makes independent power producers and 50% and some state so they 50%. So always near the omoka so that this whole thing was there just to ensure that Sikatoma they never disburse it for these people. Akufo-Addo by the first thing they did was to mortgage the ESLA and the mortgage which I say the Kosikema Kwaje and the Sikabi Betomno, it is no longer going to the bank to service the energy sector debt. Now, Bosiana Yakia Kwajeno, that is what we are using to do. They even get fund the cry. Memo secondary school get fund a toka their school get fund your mortgage at a Kwajabosia. So all these fund like my Sikani and the Sikam Ajaji Jabosia at the Sikanational. And always now you should expect to say and I'm saying young generate any aspect be a sika free ban no not energy sector no will be in trouble. So say what is na po air cancer asem but more than bisa say oba megawatt saying and whatever kind of energy mix no so otimi yes answer na then you take him serious and yes they just take it like the usual your friends politics now, that's childish infantile politics in general public we just throw out there because we know that people are gullible, they will just swallow everything. That is the nature of politics we do. But when we are doing fact check, putting all the facts and the statistics on the ground, another day, Saadi Wembatam ko kumasi na anui, and then na mahama kofa ba ya hon sembebre, a Mary Dean na se no. At some point in time, yes, a young auditing as for in some coffee by a crying at the and that particular plant and they serve the people of Kumasi power. So you should be able to tell us power and generative and come if I'm marrying Kumasi. So I think some of these politics, they are for some level of people. Emotional politics no more, but the advanced critical thinkers, there are things that such politics will not fly.
Has the media helped in dissecting the issues? Said okay, I say a fact check, analysis and political discourse. Has the media helped?
Not at all. One observation I remember Akrama who said there are a lot of people sitting behind cones, or maybe because he has the numbers. But when it comes to factual analytical discourse, I activate a nipa no. You see, say nipa not to the they don't even have it because for you to be very critical, now we to interrogate and get the best out of any issue, you must be on top of that particular issue. And again, say that now we see instead of investing wisdom and intelligence into politics, most of the media people have rather invested their stomach. So I know the day, so we investing in your foolish politics. My bad, I had a Kokanyans assembly. And to would that no pa, and you throw car, dear, a man for a canon, you dear chili, but the media space, the whole essence is to educate people. Because you see, young people over the years, and I'm missing catchers or sorry, radio so confusion, a minute more grow. People don't understand. There is still tribal, ethnocentric, emotional, sentimental politics. Ufra Branti Bina from says I didn't know but he doesn't know. Ada said no wafa ye way, nana ye way. They don't have any understanding about politics. So I media no duty to critique the issue. For issue because and to be able to make informed decision, you need information as a basic material. You analyze it, then you make informed choices. But who is giving you the information? By I think the abua a social media. First, not traditional media, no control over the media space. They decide what to share, what to discover. And there are people doing social media on a platform. For instance, Kevin Taylor, for instance, or on a platform not as well. You see the number of people watching. So nobody can control the media anymore. And so also now YouTuber, you can reach out to a lot of people. And the platform is not very diverse. That is why you see this level of political education. And I'm sure time will come. You will get there. Now, see, there are a lot of people or more are getting to the political stage because the people are gullible. Because people don't know here.
Obi Sunday me audio be here. Me pese me kamebo, but I don't want to share Nipane voice.
Okay.
Now the Nipane air can say, MPP parliamentary candidate and the member of parliament for Ayawasu was walk on. And dra Ediane Cha wa chair Emma and Krofu Ediku Koto Abana. Media Ebusana said, why did you do? Osina Oniho. She has denied vehemently, said na Oniho. But there are pictures and videos now.
Okay.
And media na jano tra.
Yes. You see, so no. Because Obia yen the bed because election ya koi Obia obabi ojina. And the assembly as a morning plan you be defended.
No, but how can you lie to the media when the media actually have some form of exhibit or evidence say you were there. How can you lie? And the media will not, challenge her. Say, madam, asama okay, obua. Osha blue and white at a video. Now then you were captured by a media camera.
Yes.
Now see na mini cry. Me a Janice. Me I think sir, one will find and say you Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. That is the word. There is no decency in our politics. There is no decency. So obi original politics
because I am from so me pamocho mo fan cheme na e twaso ba say utumi hwe domani gina public e ka say I wasn't there man ko ho de bia dia asem to me so mini ho wabreku a video no kire say wunie a wo che aduane wo se yenye me na media no ye jane sa be pe me na ye nka ho asem bi ye jai.
Yes, because onim say
yenim say electoral offense
or address or talking to gullible masses. Sabi I know nobody will hold him accountable. Obi no be bisa no question ya oti a we bisa yi. Obi no be bisa no. And that has been the nature of our politics. And then to be a politician in Ghana is so easy because you see those times, you need to exhibit some level of intellectual dexterity. You should be able to tell people say indeed nipa we won him there. But then that is not the case. And then when we to Galam say we make parliament na dey be mbiem. Me say yan hwe here abeka kra no obeko Jubilee House no na monkey na te ho. Because it's about having money. We have monetized the entire political space to the extent say if you have money, you have a voice. You have money, you can buy people and get your way. But the intelligence that is needed to ensure say leading leadership, transformation, send brabo. Now to Abama will be a galam say campaign. Again ben and or better table, so policy table, so ama policy brabo. You won't get that. So I think that the economy, as a people, Makasa, so anywhere in the world abeko who sustain bad governance the people are not innocent, they are not victims, they are sponsors and accomplices because and they give you the oxygen of publicity to what is happening. Now say nipa no sorry me human saka say no me MPP ni but ade we consider in some me NDC ni ade we dey no akufo the promise yes oba be we na me tena se hwe nsem na okeka na no you cannot install Bawumia on us when he's part of your government. The failure everything now the guy is in the middle of it. So what is he bringing? These are legitimate intelligent questions that we should be asking, but unfortunately yes medium bisa critical question because obi asum de yafunu. So I know the day on mine na ebo na nka ban say na Ghana ene hwe debt ene Ghana so we be free ba abran kroma tam besi ne the kind of investment the advances Ghana ye motorway am to na lending kwana motorway endi ho nti ban say na ne we are still under the bus and investments here nipa brabom. Those things are not there. You wake up a day, people sit on TV and they say, oh, and GDP ni na say GDP away. Another day, and GDP as a metric. Even Simon Kusnet or none of the buyer to gauge how countries are doing. And so said the ACT na and to measure the actual welfare of the people. And then the human development index because and then capital literacy.
Ma membu sao asemi I think say hono say only media ebe ya adua na be bom sobo. His Excellency the Vice President May 2020 na oye campaign edeboa His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And some be okan we will move from taxation to production. Taxation to production. But taxes ni levies be brea na ban ediaba no ombe chemu de okan say ye fa taxes be bre emba levy tax we shall not charge momo otina radio so kai we will not charge momo because if you charge momo it will be cyclical then the momo payer will also charge and it will be the video is there our can say yen charge momo but sabi parliament pass levy emrano omo no mo yare wa broche nyina you can play mo buy mo be pass here iti dem no sani pay asan etwa no ka se me ba metwa levy mu na enye ntro ne ndada ene de dada adenti ne yentumi question embusa sa promise we say o ka sa won charge me mu enso wa charge me iti ebe de no majwe didi wo ka che me say oba obeye.
Yes, and sasema wo kan eno a okọ White House press briefing, that is exactly what happened. Biden promise America for said Nebajo your friend say Hunter Biden on pardon. Omoda sorry what he say pardon. And people were calling him our press briefing our White House and ade ye the secretary no why papa no din to kire America for he told them say on pade ne ba no but a network
American media
exactly they were very critical and now where all the major platforms in as for people are calling Biden say he should resign for lying to the American people. But Oba Yokroma, go and check. Nobody is even talking about it. So we are coming to the level of your understanding with issues of politics. Nipa nanka say you didn't there pet. You didn't there you anti politics na say. Yeah, doing say a tribal sentiment and affinity that kind of way, no. And we don't see the need to hold people accountable. And nanka so we have taxes to the sense that you dear about COVID. COVID by other country people will enjoy incentive. Why to who UK, US, and as a forum benefit and I'm for yeah, taxes are
that's COVID.
Exactly.
Tax.
Then the vice president have the gut to come and tell people that they should vote for him. That is the highest level of disrespect. I'm expecting say Ghana is serious.
COVID econo.
COVID
World Bank ne IMF so ya sima yesikano.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so COVID tax.
COVID tax. To the stand say me bet kwa boys di twintwa omo ho ye de aduru ho a obi di ne bet a ye san kwaje ne tax na se for but you see taxes na ye je no okwa there is no government in the world that want tax but tax na wo je anyansa de be na wo de ye that is the question but Umia hasn't been able to tell us say 8 years taxes be brebe ya jiji weni ye de on top of it your boss ya sian bagu so obi beside that question and that question is very legitimate and I'm hoping say
right.
The media in this country will sit down and one day omo abehu the damage emubinom aye to this country how unfair and why are some are sacrificing or mine for their stomach and then as for and why young people continue to suffer because until say about say asserting the rules of engagement. Now you're straightening the issues not up. I'm a beer who say Nyama NDCO MPP. The ultimate destination is Ghana. We need to whip the sense of patriotism and nationalism in Ghana for the gut to defend our country and not political parties. But you wake up on daily basis, the defense is about political party. Now, you have respect for him, not to only defending Semunu because I am a party. And I think that is there.
Ora Ivan Che Innocent, a youth activist and a social commentator, and on election promises versus the reality, the comparative analysis of the government's performance. Now, Yejina Article 1 of the 1992 Constitution, so and the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised in the manner and within the limits laid down in the Constitution. Yamfa emotions, insults, tribalism, and politics. Obi a politics ano now we mean politics because politics are based on facts. The facts and the politics, the policies and the politics, the ideas and the politics. It is somewhere can you questions based on information. Now some media no and information and babonting. Na media na factual analytical discourse ma manfo ehu asem no kore wom no mu fa decision ewu mu the media has been unfair to the society, says Ivan Che Innocent, a youth activist. Na ana yede ene komotwetwe no besi ne krakrakra mu yekoto aba eye memneda eden necessary voter bia ehu na yekasa vigilance. How do we protect the voters ballot? Aba ebeto no uti nkomo bia nkofo ka aba no de when betumi awini o ba wan ho mbewiem oni nipa miensa bia kasa omukasa abato no omubewiem na minim de man nkofo ewosa high suspicion ne se abato no omubewiem best 3-4 days ago and electoral commission beka say on ma media no ekwan enko media ni nyina ekwan enko polling station ni collation centers media no ababe kasa etia isaze bi sida e Ghana bakosem my electoral commission no atwe na no asay ebeto dwa se asojafo ebeko collation centers wabra yenim se asogafo enye omadwuma no because ebisi wo eye techima 2020 abato no se sojafo beko. The Chief of Defense Staff at the Ababeto Abonting through the Public Affairs Directorate said Sojani Bia ni honoma SSA oko police station but minim so maka collation centers in so because abato na ye kwato memene no abana wo beto e polling station hono baako ye kokeka abo abato bebremu e constituency ansa na ye baako for parliamentary abato obeto eye polling station bia no baako ye keka ni nyina bom regional any national na ye baako e be ama presidential in the presidential election there's one constituency. In the presidential election there's only one constituency. Enti abaro ye kan o polling station wa ye wie SSA abaro efi polling station wo eko constituency collation center efi constituency collation center eko regional collation center na efi regional collation center ako national collation center eno ene de kan presidential enti ni pa presidential no uto
economy. Sometimes you from that point go, I've really messed up the economy.